If you're thinking about moving to Salem, Oregon, or just exploring the idea, this is the part you're going to want to pay attention to. Most people moving to Salem, Oregon ask the same questions. What's the market like? Is this house priced well? How far is it to downtown? But here's the problem. Those are not the questions that cause buyer regret. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what most relocation videos just gloss right over. Today, I'm sharing the 7 questions you absolutely must ask before buying a home in Salem, Oregon. These are things buyers usually find out after they're under contract, or worse, after they move in. And later in this video, I'm going to talk about what buyers don't see when touring homes and what ends up surprising them only after they live here. Salem may look simple on paper. It may come off as affordable, quiet, central to the Willamette Valley, but in reality, there are a lot of hidden layers to this city. City limits, tax districts, and lifestyle differences can completely change how a home works for you. And that's why these 7 questions are so important, because Salem can be tricky. Even 2 homes just 10 minutes apart can feel completely different day to day. And that's why these questions matter, especially if you're relocating. The first question is about boundaries. Some homes have Salem addresses but aren't technically within the city limits. And this can affect things like city services, property taxes, and even building rules. It's a detail that can make a big difference once you move in. 2 homes, same price, same size, different tax bill, different city services. And something to certainly be aware about is if you are outside the city limits, there's a higher chance that your water may be coming from either a private well or a community well, and that your property may be running on a septic tank instead of being hooked up to the city sewer line. There are different trash removal companies and different electricity providers depending on where in the city that you live, each with different monthly fees and structures. So the big question is whether the home that you're looking at is inside the city limits or not, because this could actually affect your monthly payments and your monthly bills. And this leads me to the next question, because in Salem, taxes are a lot more complicated than people expect. Now, I do these videos because, like you, my family and I relocated to Salem, Oregon, and there just weren't a lot of answers to these questions when I searched online. My name is David Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty, a local real estate agent that helps lots of people move to and relocate to the city of Salem, Oregon, because again, I understand what that feels like. So if you are considering buying a home when moving here, reach out to the contact information popping up or in the description below. Subscribe to the channel for more lifestyle content of what it's like living here in Salem. Hit the like button to get this video out to more people, and comment below if you have any questions as well. The next question you should be asking are why 2 very similar homes in the same neighborhood could have very different tax bills. This one surprises a lot of buyers. In Salem, your property taxes aren't just Salem taxes. They're a combination of city levies, county levies, school bonds, special service districts, and depending on exactly where the home sits, those levies can change. And this is why we never estimate taxes when trying to figure out what your monthly overall payment is going to be when buying a home. We actually verify. We look at the property tax records to see specifically what that home's property tax rate is, because you can have homes that are very similar size, similar bedroom count, same neighborhood, and have a very different tax structure going on for it. You should also know that taxes do get reassessed every year. The good news is there is a cap that it can't go more than 3% higher than what that previous tax year was. Also, you do get a bit of a break if you pay your property taxes in one full payment. It is also a 3% discount. But numbers are only part of the story. Next, we're going to talk about what it actually feels like when living in your home here in Salem. And now we are going to shift from looking at numbers to looking more of what lifestyle is. And the question is, what is my daily life going to look like from this particular location or neighborhood? Visiting Salem is one thing, but actually living here is another. I know when my family and I traveled here for vacation or just looked around, we had a different lens we were looking through. We didn't have that mindset of looking here to live here. And even when we made that decision to finally make the move here and look at it from that lens, we still didn't realize a lot of things until after we moved here. And again, this is why I'm sharing this information with you, because this is where your daily lifestyle patterns matter. Your morning traffic commute routes, your bridge crossings, school drop-off flows, grocery and errand loops. How long is your commute to work? How busy is a street at drop-off for school? And how convenient are errands and groceries? All of that matters once you're living in your day-to-day life here in Salem. In fact, there are certain things that my family and I really didn't take into account and only discovered after we moved in and lived in the neighborhood that we chose. And for us, like big box shopping like Target or Walmart, it's about a 25, maybe 30-minute drive. So if that's something that is important to you, things like that matter when choosing your neighborhood. Also, if we want to go to the movies or hit the I-5 freeway, again, we're about 20-ish, 25 minutes away from that. So these are things we learned only after we chose the neighborhood. So location really does matter, and it does have an effect on your daily routines and your lifestyle. A home can look perfect to you until your daily routine starts fighting your location that you chose. This matters everywhere in Salem, but especially in certain areas like West Salem, which I'll explain to you what I mean in a minute. And now let's talk about something everyone asks about in Salem, but usually asks the wrong way. Question number 4 is something that actually people do end up asking. The issue is they're not necessarily thinking about the whole picture. And they ask, does it really rain as much as people talk about here in Salem, Oregon? And the answer is yes, but that's not the surprise. What people don't ask is how that rain affects your home purchase and how it affects the property that you end up living in. Specifically, when you're buying in Salem or just the Pacific Northwest in general, you want to know things about the drainage, the gutters, the yard grading, moss buildup, foundation, any moisture issues. These are the things that you may not notice on a sunny showing. In my opinion, these questions about the rain affecting the property is just as important as how you'll be able to actually handle the rain as far as your lifestyle and mood go here in Salem, Oregon. And a lot of people who visit Salem or come here for any home tours come here during spring and summer when it's beautiful, the homes look great, the sun is shining, and these are just things you don't necessarily notice. So it is very important that you ask these questions up front so you're not surprised or caught off guard only once you start living in the home. As a real estate agent here, I absolutely love doing inspections during the rain because it could really highlight some of the areas where the home is failing, whether it's in the roof, the foundation, the drainage system. It's something that a home really can't hide when it's actually raining during a home inspection. And what's notably important is that not only do you do a general home inspection, but it's also very important to get those specific inspections regarding the systems that we just talked about, whether it's the HVAC, the roof, the drainage, the gutters, and the foundation. Because rain here in Salem just doesn't affect your daily routines, your mood, and your lifestyle. It actually has a big effect on the home that you're living in. Question number 5 is something that is very important to ask, and that is, what will this neighborhood look like in 5 years? Because Salem is growing. There's a lot of development, a lot of changes happening here, and if you're not aware of what's coming, then you could be caught off guard and not really enjoy what's going to be happening in the near future in your neighborhood. Some neighborhoods are stabilized, established. They're quiet, long-term neighborhoods. And others, they're seeing new construction. Traffic patterns are changing. School population is shifting. So you're not just buying a house, you're actually buying the future version of the neighborhood as well. Now, I mentioned West Salem previously, and this is where I'm going to address it. When you live in West Salem, you do have to cross the bridge, and that could be a point of contention. It could be an area where traffic gets congested, the streets get a little bit backed up. It could add to some of your commute time. So if that's something that's important to you, it's something you may want to consider. Now, in my personal opinion, it hasn't added that much more to my commute time, maybe about 7 minutes during some of the heaviest traffic, unless the portion of the bridge is actually shut down. However, with all the future development that is happening here in Salem, West Salem, this could actually get worse. There are very big projects in the works right now. They broke ground, and there's going to be hundreds of more units being built here, which means a lot more people and a lot more cars trying to cross that bridge into the rest of Salem and getting to the I-5 freeway. So this is something to consider, and this is why it's good to know about the future of a neighborhood and how it could affect your neighborhood, the way you live in it, and also your commuting patterns and traffic in and around the area. Then there's South Salem, and in South Salem, especially in the very southern portions of it, there are some massive developments going on with a lot of single-family homes being built, which is also going to add a lot more to your commute time. It's going to add a lot more congestion to a lot of your shopping experiences over there in South Salem. So something to note, is there going to be a lot of construction noise going on when you buy a home? What are the traffic patterns are going to be like once people are actually living in these hundreds of units that are being built? And in the eastern portion of Salem, there are a number of projects that just got completed or near finishing, and this also has a big effect on the local amenities there, but also for a lot of people going into the downtown area, because a lot of those streets can get blocked from people going east and west into downtown and going east out of downtown. So something to note. Again, these are all things that are happening in the future that you're going to want to be aware about. These are the questions that need to be asked when you're working with a real estate agent or just searching on your own and looking into what's happening in Salem and how it's going to affect the home and the neighborhood you're choosing to live in. While all of these questions are important, question number 6 may be the question that gets overlooked the most because it's things that you don't notice when touring homes when you're looking to purchase. All right, question number 6. What are these things that you don't see during a home tour? Now, most of the time you're seeing a home, it's during the middle of the day, so you're not really aware of the normal traffic patterns, or maybe even on a weekend, even more so, not used to the routine weekly traffic patterns. A lot of times people are seeing homes in spring and summer here in Salem, so they're seeing it on sunny, beautiful days, not necessarily aware of what it's like during the rain or the gray skies. And a lot of things that catch people off guard are the very things they're not necessarily seeing or paying attention to during their home tour. Some of the questions you may want to ask and do more research about is how busy streets feel during school drop-off, or what's the traffic noise during the morning and evening commute hours, how dark the home feels in the winter, what are the parking challenges once everyone's home, how the neighborhood sounds at night or in the early morning. This is another example where West Salem comes into play. You're touring a home in West Salem around 1 p.m. or on the weekend, but you're really not aware of what it's like to commute over the bridge if you've got to work that way or go that way daily in the morning or in the evening. So these are things that need to be questioned or asked, or even come back during certain times into that neighborhood to see the home at various times of the day. In Salem, these differences can be subtle, but they add up very fast once you move in. And this is especially true for homes near main roads, hillside properties, areas close to schools or parks. A house can look perfect for a 20-minute tour, but feel very different at 7 a.m. on a rainy Tuesday. Another big one buyers don't necessarily see during a tour are flood zones and drainage patterns. Some areas near creeks, low-lying pockets, or have older drainage systems require a little bit more homework. While it's not a deal breaker, it's a due diligence thing. In Salem, some homes show their challenges during heavy rain or certain seasons, so you may not notice the standing water, the yard saturation, or nearby creeks unless you know where to look. This is why buyers who only rely on showings sometimes feel surprised after they move in. And even after everything checks out, there's still one final question that will determine whether you're going to be happy here in Salem, Oregon. The 7th question here on our list is whether the home actually fits your lifestyle or just your search filters. It's easy to fall in love with a house that looks perfect on paper, but will it actually fit your lifestyle, your routines, your hobbies, commute, family? This is the question that separates a great purchase from a house you regret buying later. Buyers with regret often say the same thing. Checked off all the boxes, the price was right, it looked perfect online. But they're not asking the right questions. What will my life actually look like once I start living here? My daily routines, my traffic patterns. Will this neighborhood still work in 5 years? Are there enough amenities around me? If you've got kids, is this the neighborhood that's going to be best fit for my family? When my family and I chose to move to Salem, Oregon, we knew we wanted real peace and quiet. We wanted to be away from it all. One of the reasons why we ended up choosing West Salem, even with some of the challenges that I had mentioned earlier in this video. We wanted that quieter lifestyle, slower pace, and we didn't mind the commute in the end. However, that's just not the right fit for a lot of people. They don't necessarily want the quietness. They want to be a little bit more city center, be part of the downtown. They may not want to commute 20, 30 minutes to their favorite shopping area or their shopping district. So these are things that definitely need to be asked that you're not necessarily going to find online or just asking the basic questions about the market or the price of the home. When relocating to Salem, or really anywhere for that matter, you really need to dig deep into what your lifestyle is going to look like or what you want it to look like, and really take into account what you do on a daily and also what you like to do for entertainment, because the answers to those questions could matter actually more than the questions about the house itself. Ask these 7 questions and you'll be miles ahead of most home buyers, and you're going to be a lot happier in the long run. And that's how I help buyers relocate to Salem, Oregon, not just finding you the right home, but really helping you understand the lifestyle and what it's like to live in the city of Salem. So if you are thinking about making that move to Salem, buying a home, reach out to me. Again, I'm David Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. Love helping people relocate to the Salem, Oregon area like I did. I understand what you're going through. Contact information is popping up or it's in the description below. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Hit the like button to get this video out to more people like yourselves thinking about moving to Salem, and you can ask any questions you want in the comments as well.